Alright guys, welcome back to the YouTube video. I'm thinking about doing it like this because if you do watch it, it gives you a little something to look at instead of looking at me all the time. I wish my hands would show up, but that's beside the point. So this what if is gonna pretty much be about deku and what if he had a darkness quirk. So how we're gonna do this is gonna be fairly simple. It's going to start off pretty similar to Canon, but his quirk is going to come on a little later. Okay, so what happens is he gets bullied for the most part, and he bugs out about not having a quirk for pretty much the whole little year. So around 6, he starts having weird dreams, hearing a weird voice call out to him saying, "Do you want power? Do you want power?" And just really bugging out. So after that situation happens, and after some time pass, he has like this really weird dream, and he says yes. Finally, he accepts it. Goes outside, pulls out his hand, and just tries to use it. And so instead of like a darkness enlightenment, I said that all sorts of wrong. Instead of enlightenment, it's a darkenment, basically, where he's gaining so much negativity and knowledge. So he's a lot smarter than Deku and Canon. His knowledge is far more superior. Plus, it's almost kind of like he's like an older person. And with this being the case, he's so much more smarter than most people. So he's a lot more strategy based than the original Deku. So that means a lot. That'll play into the story later. For the most part, he kind of keeps his quirk a secret. He does cry and moans about it a little bit. He only tells his mom, but his mom gives him a powerful speech. In summary, it's something like, it's just because you don't have a flashy quirk, or just because your power isn't like All Might's, or just because you're not, you don't have like a flame quirk, or you don't have this powerful quirk, doesn't make it bad. It's your quirk. It is your power. This will be playing into the fight versus versus Deku and Todoroki later. And so with that, he immediately says, "I'm not All Might. I have to make my own path. I have to do my own thing." So for the most part, he doesn't really, show his quirk off. People back up because he's training. He doesn't have like necessary muscles, but he does do a lot of training. Instead of just all focusing all on All Might, he looks at other heroes, takes a few martial arts classes. He has a basic hand to hand. And so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and skip to when he's in middle school. They do the applying for the academy. They go in. Kanchan gets mad and be like, "So you're trying to apply to that school?" He said, "If you come to me and try to mess with me any longer, I will end your life." And everyone's like shocked, but more like, "Whoa, where did he get so ballsy from? Like, what made this dude have all this confidence?" And then he said, "You're a quirkless loser. You can't do nothing to me." He said, "Are you sure about that?" And then with a crack of his voice, a booming sound goes, "Darkness, absolute." And then the room is filled with darkness. It's quiet. No one can see anything. Everyone's shook to their very core. And then you just hear a demonic voice go, "Do you want to play, Kanchan? Do you want to play?" And then with a snap of his fingers, he's gone. And the room's back to normal self. With all his homework put down on the table, all his stuff out, he goes his own way. Some days pass, and he sees, well, he doesn't see, well, he does see the sludge villain, but he goes, sludge villain tries to attack him. He knocks this off. This is child's play. So all he does is sludge villain comes out. The area is pretty dark, so he gets a small power boost from this, and he just pretty much binds him. He wants to kill it, but he's like, that's not necessary. So he doesn't go for it. So he just encages the villain and pretty much just leaves it there. And then right before he like disposes of him or tosses him somewhere else, All Might comes and says, "I am here." All Might is feeling some type of way about the fact that a kid caught a villain that he can catch. But before All Might runs away, Deku, like in canon, follows him, sees his true form. That just happened, but like when they actually get down to the talking aspect, it's more on the um he's like, can I be a hero with this dark quirk? All Might kind of just like, nah, not really be. Not gonna lie, that's kind of evil. That quirk wouldn't really wouldn't advise it. This will play into another part later. So with that being said and that happening, this is where Kachan gets, attacked by the sludge villain. Deku mad at um his greatest hero and all that stuff, saying he basically can't be a hero. He said, man, forget that. And with this whole darkment, enlightenment, his attitude and just vibe is all different. He's still a hero, but he's a little more edgy. So everyone's bugging out, right? So he comes in walking. They're like, hey kid, get back, get back. So he's walking straight into it with his head just moving. That theme song would be popping up right now. Everything would be getting dummy lit. And then he says darkness. And then everyone gets a really chilly, cold vibe. The flames are extinct immediately. He walks in closer. All the darkness is around pretty much the sludge villain on Kanchan. He moves Kanchan out of the way, practically putting him on the floor, and then looks at the sludge villain. I'm gonna correct my mistake from last time. He makes like a sword of a shadow sword blade out of darkness, and then starts dicing and cutting him. But before he can put himself back together, he like paralyzes him and puts him all scattered around, all into little pieces and stuff. And then after that, All Might was like, I know what I need to do. I was wrong. So before people start judging him and getting mad and stuff, saying, oh, that's an evil quirk, he says, see, despite having a villain quirk or a villain-like quirk, he did a hero deed. This is not my victory today. This is what's your name? He like sides off to him. What's your name? Izuko Midoriya. This is young Midoriya's victory today. We should all treat him as a hero. It's not the quirk, it's the person and how they want to use it. That little scene happens, and then all ended off right before All Might finds him and says, how would you like to be my successor? And by the way, before I end this video, tell me if you like this format, just a little avatar is something to look at versus the other one. Plus my next what if story will be on the fact of if Izuku Midoriya would have the Shield Hero's abilities. I'll explain that more in that part. It's part of an anime, obviously. And I will do like a part 0.5, depending on how well this video is received. Like explaining all his abilities, how his ability works and all that stuff. But just to give a quick summary on that, is darkness, in the absence of light, he's able to produce darkness and control negative emotions to an extent. So, hope y'all like it, and signing out.